Thank you so much for everything. I want to give you one specific thing that I'm thankful for. I'm a flight attendant and music teacher, vocal coach. And what I picked up from you is when you try to bring something across to the people in the hot seat is you prepave by saying, you're really going to like this. You're really going to understand this. This will be really easy for you. I've now consciously practiced this with my students. They don't know about Abraham, but they pick up like that. So thank you so much for that. It's a really good tool.
It's the best tool because you're offering it with no resistance, and so it's nearly an instant manifestation, isn't it? Because
the moment that there is a situation where they feel I want to teach them something, they feel a little bit uneasy, but then I take that I prepave for this uneasiness not to manifest by saying that, and it's delicious.
Esther and friends were coming from the airport here yesterday.
We were looking for you yesterday. We came on Lufthansa.
The driver was very talkative and interesting. And Esther loves hearing about people, what's going on with you. And so she was asking him some questions, and he was talking about property that he's gathered, and he wants it to be a facility where troubled teens can be in a sort of family setting. And as he talked about it, Esther felt herself moved by it. She likes the idea of someone shining a positive spotlight on someone who hasn't had a positive spotlight shined, maybe. And then she said, "What's the name of your ranch?" And he said, "It's called Last Chance." And she said, "Oh." And then she got out her book and she said, "How about First Hope?" Or New Beginning? Because she is understanding that expectation of the mentor is everything.
Yes.
If you're trying to club your students over the head with your awareness that they're probably not going to do very well at this,
or that it's hard,
you should go fishing. Or that it's hard. But when you know what their potential is, and you know what you have the ability to inspire within them, and you know not only the thrill of it, but the certainty of it.
Yes.
Oh, that makes you a really good mentor.
I got that from you. It's a little bit of a heavy subject, but I really do want to talk about it. I mean, want to hear you about it. It's about manifesting sickness. In my past, I have been manifesting sickness, but I am right now extremely healthy. And I realized that I prepaved then for this incredible, hysterical, joyful health power that I feel right now.
So, can you leave it at that?
Yes.
Could you leave it right there? In other words, all of this is so good. Could that have contributed?
Yes.
And then was it worth it?
Yes.
So,
well, but the thing
what
is,
else do you want to talk
Well,
about?
I knew you were going to say this. I knew you were. That's why.
We knew you knew, and we didn't want to disappoint you.
But I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there. It's just that people who know me from then, when I was there.
You went there, didn't you? You went there. Just a little. You went there, didn't you? Just a little. You went there.
Yes. No, but we're going somewhere else. We're going right there.
Hurry.
Yeah. So resistance eventually causes dis-ease to manifest in physical discomfort and or illness. One thing that I do go back to then, because I am in a physical body, and I do hurt myself sometimes. So I cannot just forget about physical.
But the only time that happens is when you reach further with your desire than your grid keeps up with.
Wow.
That's always an accurate statement.
Okay.
In other words, if life causes you to put more in your vortex than your ability to stay up with your grid, then that's when you stub your toe and more.
I totally get that. But now one thing specifically. For instance, I used to smoke. I had a big resistance against it, but I couldn't stop. I never manifested any illness in my lungs. I manifested a disease somewhere else. Now I gave up smoking 8 months smoke-free, yes. And I'm really happy about that. But, so, is there a relationship between a specific disease and a specific resistance? So, if I have resistance in a specific, for instance, if I feel like people are on my skin, do I then get skin problems?
The specifics of what you think about. So let's start in another place. So let's say that you are moving through life experience and things are bothering you. Like our friend had 9 things that were not going well and something that is going well, but she's chronically, or you're chronically involved in the 9 things that aren't. And so your attention is upon those. So without really being too aware of it, you've got more resistance going on than you think you do, than you want to admit to.
Right.
So through all of that process, and if you're particularly active, if you're particularly involved in life experience, then you're launching lots of rockets of desire. And so your vortex is spinning, your stream is moving fast, who you really are is vibrating at this high pure place. But more and more things you're using as your excuse to not be vibrationally up to speed with that. Mm-hmm. So then, in the same way that you are really not aware that you were specifically creating and specifically holding yourself apart from what you are wanting, you're also probably not aware that you're giving attention specifically to things that you're pushing against. And the way things manifest, wanted or unwanted, something specific does not come to someone who hasn't activated the specifics of that vibration within them. That's just the powerful, clear, law-based statement that we must make.
But I was very resistant against my own smoking, but I didn't manifest anything there. I'm not very specific against my skin, but I did manifest a skin problem. You know what I mean? So my question is,
we hear what your question is, because
okay.
Your question is, I didn't think I was doing one thing, but I admit I was doing another, but the opposite of the manifestation occurred. And what we really want you to hear is that nothing ever happens that is a vibrational mismatch to what's going on. So the discordant part of it is a misunderstanding of what really was going on vibrationally. Sometimes...
So what was going on vibrationally?
Let's start in this place. Sometimes you don't really know that you want something until you really know that you don't want something.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes you don't really know that you don't want something until you really know that you want something. Mm-hmm. And so, attention to what you want. Sometimes you're picking up that stick, thinking that you're giving your attention to what you do want without realizing that you're pushing against what you do not want. We don't want to get too heavy into this. You said it's a heavy subject because this is one of the reasons that we moved from calling this gathering the art of allowing rather than the science of deliberate creation. Because as you get so specifically focused, as you try to contemplate every single thought that you're thinking and put it into some sort of category about whether I thought it more than others, mm-hmm. We just want you to understand that nothing manifests that is out of vibrational whack with what you've got going on. This analogy that we're going to offer you here is going to answer your question completely. You may have heard us say that what manifests is always a vibrational match to what you're thinking and feeling. It always is. And then we take it further, and it's easy for you to understand this, that what manifests in your dream state, what you're dreaming about, is also a manifestation of what you're thinking and what you're feeling. But we want you to focus for just a little bit that your dream and your real life experience, but it's easier to hear it about the dream. Your dream is showing you a perfect representation of the essence of what you've got going on vibrationally. But the details fill in with what you've been thinking about recently. Sometimes people say, I had this dream and it was weird because it was people I didn't really know or it was about this specific thing that I saw that on television the other day, or I saw that in a magazine the other day. So you're filling in the details with stuff that's still active within you. But the happening within it and the way the dream caused you to feel is the true meat and substance of the creation, as is what's manifesting. And so the details of it, they're just the filler. you see. It's sort of like the plot to the movie is the plot.
Right.
And then they put all that other stuff in just to make you feel like you got your money's worth with all the action scenes. Helpful?
Very. Can I ask another question?
Yeah.
This is about the individuality or the personality after croaking. I have this, I'm not expecting to grasp this completely after your answer. I don't think it is graspable at all because we are in this time-space reality and we're not supposed to grasp it completely. But
well, it is graspable.
For you.
For you.
It is.
It is. And here's how. Do you want to speak further, or should we jump right in?
Jump in.
In this sense, if you are standing in your humanness and you are looking at where you think non-physical is and trying to contemplate what's going on there, that's not graspable because you, from where you are standing, can't achieve a vibrational frequency to put you out there where you think out there is.
Exactly. Yeah.
But when you are in your now, focused upon something that's happening right here and now, and you are feeling vitality and enthusiasm and love, you're grasping what non-physical is focused upon.
Okay.
Esther said to Jerry, she's visiting with him from time to time, she said to him, I think about you all the time. And he said, how do you know it's you thinking about me and not me thinking about you?
But
stay there with that for just a little bit, because you're trying to separate what's non-physical from you rather than understanding that it's integrating with you. It's integrating with you. Okay. And so when you're looking where it isn't, you feel lost and say, I can't grasp it. But when you look where it is, then you get it.
Wow.
And that's what your happy dances are about. That's what those feelings of insight. When the grid fills in, when you're in the vicinity, when you're in vibrational alignment and you're tuned in to the fullness of who you are and you're having a moment and the whole of who you are is flowing in that moment, you're grasping what non-physical is. It's your preconception of what non-physical is, which it isn't. It's your flawed premise about what non-physical is, which it isn't, which is making you call it ungraspable.
Wow. I heard you say this about Jerry, and it inspired me for this question.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I think, and this is really with all respect for you, and I really hope I can bring this across in a respectful way. Because I'm speaking from my own experience, sometimes the desire is so big to grasp.
But think about it. That's because a desire has two ends of the stick. There's the fulfillment of the desire, and there's the not yet fulfillment of the desire. And so if you're really vibrating on the it hasn't manifested yet end of it, then of course it can't fill in.
But isn't it wishful thinking, I sometimes think? But one specific example, if I may, my bike is from my...
Well, we're going to interrupt just briefly on the wishful thinking thing.
Okay, please.
Wishful, hopeful isn't quite there. Believing, knowing is.
Yeah.
So wishful thinking doesn't get it done, does it?
Wow. Okay. I know when I'm on my bike, I've mentioned my bike before. The bike is from my opa, from my grandfather. My grandfather always used it to feel free. Yeah. Now when I go downhill and I'm not focused on my grandfather at all, and I see horses on my right-hand side. My grandfather used to work with horses. And I'm really not focused upon him. All of a sudden, I feel him.
So you've just confirmed what we've just said to you.
Exactly. Yeah. And then I sort of say, go for it.
When you say, I'm not focused upon my grandfather, because he's not here where I can see him, and that would take me away from where he is. But when you're feeling the thrill of the ride, and even being in the energy of the very machine that he was using when he was feeling the thrill of the ride, then you're finding yourself looking at what he is wanting to see.
Yeah.
That's what we call looking at the world through the eyes of Source. And there are so many, not just your recently dearly departed. There are so many non-physical energies. There is nothing. That's what infinite intelligence is. There is nothing that you could want information about that when you focus upon it, anyone who was involved in it and out here on the leading edge, you got to understand, those people who have reemerged into non-physical are staying up to speed with the projects that they were involved in. And when you find an interest and you throw your interest into your vortex, when you get into your vortex, you meet up with them.
Right.
And the way you meet up with them is when your grid fills in with their ideas, you see.
Yeah.